In today's video, we are continuing our coverage on the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which isn't looking very good going forward currently. Ant-Man 3 underperformed. The Marvels by Nia DaCosta, basically Kevin Feige, and Marvel, because let's be honest, if you write a movie for Marvel, you've got a huge mandate, so you're basically doing what they want. The Marvels, been out 2 weeks, less than $200 million, which is the lowest Marvel Disney movie ever. So Nia DaCosta has been fired, but she was only signed on to do this one movie. But I get sent to a lot of videos on the Instagram at WarStew. I don't generally look at them, but there is so much hyperbole, so much hyperbolic nonsense around Marvel. Kevin Feige takes action at Disney after the Marvel's box office collapse. There's so much nonsense out there. Nia DaCosta has been fired from her 10-movie deal, and then you look into it, she hasn't. Kevin Feige is threatening not to be producer on multiple projects for Marvel. Kevin Feige is in charge of Marvel. He's automatically, instantly the EP. Yes, they have produced more movies in the last 3 years than they have in the last 10 years. I think Phase 4 had ridiculous numbers. But to say Kevin Feige is close to walking out, close to getting fired, is absolute nonsense. And what makes me laugh is you guys actually watch this kind of content. Sure, Disney is not doing very well. Sure, Marvel is not doing very well. But let's be honest, this is nothing new. Since Avengers Endgame in 2019, except for a few fires like Spider-Man No Way Home, like Multiverse of Madness, like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Marvel Disney has not done very well for years. So to say the Marvels is the final straw is interesting. So, what is freaking good, YouTube? WarStew here. If you are new or anime, subscribe to never miss any of Marvel, DC, Kaiju, Monsterverse, pop culture-based content that I try to do on a daily basis. If you're good, subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and let me know, how is Marvel going to recover? Bring the Avengers back! Okay, cool, but you can't just instantly jump to an Avengers movie. There has to be some kind of chronological build-up. Also, if you could, follow us on Twitter, WarStewG, to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice. And also, if you could, check us out on Instagram, at WarStew. If you haven't already, get over there at WarStew. So, this Fantastic Four storyline that's going around at the moment, it's interesting to me. I don't know why all of a sudden it's picked up this massive steam. I've been speaking about this for a few months. We've covered this story for a few months about Marvel going forward with a female-led Fantastic Four team being Sue Storm and the villain potentially being female. But all of a sudden now, it's like a brand new story when realistically, it's an old story. Really old. So we've got Deadpool 3 coming out, which is going to be the savior of the MCU. I think Deadpool 2 was pretty mid. I really think it was mid, and I've already read the comments from the last video when I said that. Deadpool 2 was not as good as Deadpool 1. That's generally the case. Marvel's going to build up to a Civil War Part 2 or Civil War 2. That would be interesting. What's Marvel's missing, and it's not really that hard to figure out, is you need to make people care for the characters. You need to make the story interesting. And if you are building up to Kang's Dynasty and Secret Wars, you need to make some compelling storyline where everything connects. The Fantastic Four has never actually been about Sue Storm. It's always been about Reed. In fact, I'd go as far to say Sue Storm is the most irrelevant character in the bunch. Now, it's interesting that Matt Shackman comes out over a month ago and says, yes, we have all the cast signed. Okay, reveal the cast. So recently, some people, I do take a look at what people say. So a lot of people were against this female Silver Surfer, and if you actually looked into it, it's pretty much comic book accurate. But as soon as there is a pretty good actress linked to it that people like, so Anya Taylor-Joy has been linked to this role of basically playing a character that becomes the Silver Surfer. She has credits that include The Witcher, The Last Night in Soho, The Northman, The Menu. She also next star in George Miller's Mad Max prequel. So apparently she's a good actor. So Twitter has absolutely erupted because apparently Sue Storm is going to be the lead of this movie, and the villain is also going to be the Silver Surfer, but also Galactus appears, but also Doctor Doom appears. So I've been saying for the longest time possible, go and watch Peaky Blinders. Go and watch Oppenheimer. Go and watch Cillian Murphy play the Scarecrow in the Batman. Obviously, we're on about Christopher Nolan's one. But all of a sudden, Twitter Scooper comes out and goes, Cillian Murphy is Marvel's favorite pick to play a Doctor Doom. Yo, I've been saying this for years. So for once, my time to make scoops. You, aka Ryan. Cillian Murphy is Marvel's top choice to play Doctor Doom in the MCU. He should be everyone's top pick. But then in the same sentence after, Doctor Doom will most likely not appear in the Fantastic Four. He'll cameo at best. Interesting. So let me guess right. There's news around that Doctor Doom's going to be cast because of reasons. Doctor Doom hasn't really ever had a good version of him. Neither is Galactus. In fact, we've never had a good version of the Fantastic Four. That's the problem here. It's not very hard to make a good Fantastic Four movie. If you're going to build up to Doctor Doom being part of Avengers Secret Wars, you have to bring Doom into a movie like the Fantastic Four. Now, when I say it's not hard to make a good Fantastic Four movie, don't take that out of context. I'm not one of these little YouTubers who think they could run Marvel Studios, who think they're an actor, who think they're some kind of movie producer, and they think they can make a better Marvel movie than what Marvel can do themselves. It's all right sitting on a YouTube video going, oh, Marvel's flopping, they're doing this, they're doing that. I'm like, okay, bro, I'll let you take charge of a movie, it'll be 10 times worse. But realistically, making Sue Storm lead, the Invisible Woman, the lead of the Fantastic Four, when predominantly in the comics, it's always been about your boy, Reed Richards. You just got to follow the script, follow the comics. I know Marvel and DC are generally, when it comes to the movie world, loose, I'd say, very loosely done on the comics. But you've just got to follow that one bit. So a lot of people recently, over the last few weeks, are now freaking out about the Fantastic Four. But this whole female-led movie, this female Silver Surfer, it's not actually a new story. I don't understand why it's taken the internet literally like a month to react to this story. But I presume it's just because of the Marvels flop, so the Fantastic Four who flop. Fantastic Four cannot flop. But what's interesting is, apparently it's supposed to go into production very early next year at Pinewood Studios in London, where my good buddies work. So, yeah, boy, anything filmed in the UK, I can pretty much find out what's going on. Doesn't mean I'm going to leak it. So the Fantastic Four, it's part of, well, realistically, any movie released now is part of the multiversal saga. And that's the problem with the whole multiversal saga, is pretty much every movie and TV show, if they want to make these ridiculous TV shows, She-Hulk, nothing to do with multiversal saga. Wakanda Forever, Thor Love and Thunder, nothing to do with a multiversal saga. If you're going to have a multiversal saga, everything's got to be included going forward. I don't really think there's anything wrong with having this character play a female version of Silver Surfer, because it literally is following the comic book storyline, if you like. But also, Galactus is supposed to be appearing in this movie anyway. So is the villain actually going to be female, or is the villain going to be Galactus? We don't know. But the whole internet is freaking out. And, I mean, the director's fine. He's done, he was involved with the Monarch TV show that's currently airing. He was involved with WandaVision, I believe it was. So his work is fine. I wouldn't say amazing, but it's fine. So, but obviously, I haven't really looked into it in the sense, did he write the script? Doesn't matter if he did, because Disney seems to control what is done with their storylines and what is done with their movies. So is there actually any point in hiring a director, because they mandate everything anyway? So we're not going to be hyperbolic and get to this level where Kevin Feige takes action at Disney and he's threatening not to do press junket and he's threatening not to do anything. And there is just so much nonsense around at the moment. So many headlines. Brie Larson attacks fans after the Marvel box office disaster. No, she didn't. Not at all. It's like people taking stuff majorly out of context. Disney takes serious action against the Marvel's director. No, they really didn't. She was hired to do a job. The movie underperformed for multiple reasons. Nothing to do with the actors' strike. Nothing to do with pandemic. Just people weren't interested in the movie. They're not always interested in movies. So you're probably seeing a lot. If you go on YouTube and type Bob Iger or Kevin Feige or Brie Larson, or any of them names, you're getting a lot of hyperbolic titles with craziness. And then I've clicked into a few of these videos, and realistically, there's no context. There's literally nothing that was said in the title in the actual video. Sure, behind the scenes. Sure, Bob Iger's very involved. Sure, Kevin Feige's most likely freaking out. But I think the fact that Kevin Feige's done a pretty good job over the last 10 years at Marvel, I don't think we need to worry overall, but it is concerning that they are trying to make Sue Storm the lead of the Fantastic Four and potentially using a female Silver Surfer, which that could be the case, but we don't know. We really don't know what version of the Silver Surfer they're intending to use, because you get a lot of this hyperbolic news without the actual full context of what are they actually doing with a Silver Surfer. Yes, it does look like potentially they're casting a female, but then you would instantly think, okay, they're using a female version of the Silver Surfer. I don't know why people instantly think they're gender swapping, but it doesn't really look that way. There is multiple female. I mean, they could even use a version of Nova. There was a version that I've seen an image going around of this fiery looking character that was essentially Nova that later became the Silver Surfer. And then people in comment sections go, why are they gender swapping characters when there are plenty of female Silver Surfer representations? Yeah, that's pretty much what they're going to do. But of course, the internet is the internet. Does Nova play the same role as Silver Surfer? Well, I guess a version of Nova did turn into Silver Surfer eventually, if you like. Yeah, I'm not the biggest comic book person, but realistically, just chill. I don't think there's anything wrong at the moment. And I think if there is, Kevin Feige is going to make sure that the Fantastic Four, Kang's Dynasty, Secret Wars, everything going forward is hopefully going to get back to the standard that we're used to. So throwing outlandish things around like Kevin Feige fired, Nia DaCosta fired when she's only done the role she was given at Marvel. I get it. It's really popular to hate on Disney and hate on Marvel, which if it's deemed, if there's a reason behind that, cool. But it looks like most of it is just hyperbolic. Let's just use Bob Iger and Kevin Feige in a title kind of stuff, which is interesting. Sure, the Marvels did flop, and sure, the Fantastic Four plot is pretty weak, but they will be doing rewrites. They will be changing stuff. Hell, there was a storyline going around back earlier this year that actually sounded pretty darn cool. But I don't think any of that and none of that. I mean, in this storyline, they were using the End Zone, and Victor Von Doom, Dr. Doom, actually had a pretty big part of it, and they used the Baxter building and a lot of the stuff of it. But then there's a different plot leak where essentially they were going to be stuck in the quantum realm and then come back to the current day, and Kang was going to be in it, and the quantum gate, and there was a lot of cool stuff in it. There was no kind of female wokeness, if you like, and in this one, also there was Annihilus was in this, the X-Men were in it, Galactus were in it, Doom were in it. In fact, this was like a crazy movie, but I don't even know if that's real because it was pretty crazy, but there isn't really many plot deals out about what is in this movie, other than Sue Storm is supposed to be the lead, and also, potentially the Silver Surfer will be female, but Galactus will be voiced by a guy. So I guess let's just wait and see. Hopefully, this is the kind of content you guys like. As Marvel stuff's pretty dry at the moment. Really, I mean, real news is pretty dry. Other than this, tweetosphere scooper news, which it's interesting, and Reddit stuff. So like always, guys, let me know, what do you think about the Fantastic Four movie? Although they've not even started to shoot it yet. But what do you think of these most recent rumors? Like always, guys, check us out on Instagram at WatchGC, the beautiful face, man, the beautiful face. Check us out on Twitter, WatchGC. And I'll catch you on another video very soon. Catch you later.